Jim. You probably remember, I think it was about a week ago when I opened an automatic transmission for the first time in my entire life. And it was the 722.9, 7-speed, 7 forward gears, 2 reverse gears, electronically controlled transmission on this R230 chassis Mercedes SL500. But that transmission is actually used across the Mercedes line. They have them even in Maybachs, and they have them in almost any V8 powered. I'm not sure if it's in 6s or not, and they even have them in some of their vans. I mean, these transmissions they're everywhere, and they're known to be pretty stout transmissions. They last a long time and put up with a lot of abuse from what I've been able to read, but they have a weak point in their electronics. So last week was the first time I've ever opened a transmission, and it was to attempt a fluid change and a filter change, and just to see what the internals look like. They were dirty. They looked pretty good. Put in some new fluid, was able to get all that accomplished, and they make it sound really scary and complicated, and it really wasn't. So it didn't really fix my problem. So today I'm going to raise the car up, and I'm going to take the pan off, and then I'm going to remove the valve body, and then separate the conductor plate from the valve body, and then I'm going to send it to the United Kingdom. There's a place there that I'll put a link in the description, and I'll talk more about them in a little bit, but they're going to overhaul the internal portion of my transmission, and they'll give me a lifetime warranty after that, and they're going to charge me $330 including shipping. So let's get to it. Up you go. Good thing I have a lift. Well, we're down under here again. I got my paperwork here, and it's a shipping label and a whole information sheet that they sent me after I initiated this job. And here's the bottom pan to our 722.9. And now that I know what it looks like inside from last week, I'm going to pull this out, which is the drain plug. I'm going to stick a screwdriver or something up in there so I can pop off there's a plastic standpipe in there that is just clipped on. So you need to kind of tilt it and knock it off into the bottom of the pan to let more of the fluid drain out. And then I'm going to take out all the screws and pull the pan off. It's the same process we've seen before, so I'm not going to show you all that again. I lied. So this is my Harbor Freight drain pan thing. It's pretty good. And I know I don't have to tell you, but and this was a 6mm hex key for this plug. I don't have to tell you, but when I talk about these companies like this ECU testing company in the UK and Harbor Freight I mention all the time, and FCP Euro, because I just ordered another whole setup of the fluid and the gasket and all the new screws that you need to do this. I'm not sponsored, of course. I pay full price for all of this stuff, and it's not, I'm not trying to plug for anybody or shill for anybody. I'm just telling you the straight scoop of what I'm doing. So, just in case there was some doubt. Okay, out she comes. Oop. Okay, I'm spilling a little bit, but not much, honey. And now we wait. It took a couple of days, more than 2 days, when I drained this last week, for it to completely drain to where it was only dripping one drip every 20 minutes. The bright side here, the fluid coming out of this, even though I only was able to drain about half of the fluid that it had in it last time, and last time it was really black, and it looked like black paint. And Now what's coming out actually has a reddish color to it, and it's not just completely pitch black. It's actually kind of transparent. You can see light through it, and you couldn't before with the old stuff. So I'm thinking this next time I put the fresh fluid in, the fluid is going to look pretty good inside here. And I am convinced that this ECU rebuild is going to fix this car for once and for all. And then, you know, I have this fantasy where I'm going to be living somewhere, I don't know, nice, maybe somewhere on the East Coast, and I'm going to be taking this car to the local track. And I got inspired by the zip tie drags that I went to in January with the guys from Roadkill, and all these people brought all these nutty cars and were beating the crap out of them and burnout pits and all that. I was thinking, I want to do that. And then there's some racing I've been watching here on YouTube. It's called spectator drags, and it's real funny. It's just people off out of the stands bring their own cars in and do a one-lap drag race, and sometimes it gets kind of a little sketchy. So I was thinking that would be a really fun way to put this car into its retirement. Do crazy stuff like that with it until it really does just finally blow up the engine or something like that, and then I'll part out whatever's left. That's my grand plan for this car. What'll end up happening though is when the transmission is fixed and it'll pass smog again, then my wife Shannon loves this car, so she'll probably start using it as her daily again. That's okay. Oh man, I got good news and I got bad news. Good news, I got the throttle body out. Bad news is I kind of broke it getting it out. Let me show you. Here's where it used to be, and what happened is you're supposed to be able to just pull the whole thing down, and right up in this hole right here sticks through the connector plug. The plug, it sticks through with an O-ring, and then your wiring harness here plugs into it on the outside of the transmission. And it was seized in this hole. Couldn't get it to budge. I tried cramming some stuff on the outside, you know, trying to get a little pry tool and to push down on it, and I wiggled it back and forth a bunch of times, and then I little by little was putting a little plastic pry tool under the edge here to try to pull down, and I worked on it for a really, for much longer than I should have had to, and finally it went pow. And let me show you. Here is the throttle body with the conductor plate and all of the solenoids still in place. I haven't touched it. Ultimately, I'm going to have to take out all the solenoids, which I have some bags standing by here where I will put each one in its own individual bag and then label the bag as to exactly where it came from, because these have to come out of and be replaced right into the exact same hole that they came out of when we're putting this back together. The problem I have is over here. This is supposed to be firmly attached there, and it isn't. It broke. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to repair this, or if that means that this whole conductor plate is toast and I'm going to have to get a new one. That would really suck. But I don't know. I'm going to have to call the place that's going to rebuild the ECU, which is this piece here. I'm going to call them and see what they say about this kind of a problem. And I guess that means I'll have to wait until the UK opens on Monday. Pops out, I say, yay, finally, because I've been struggling with it for an hour. And then I see, yeah, it popped out. It left the plug in. Damn. Always something. Okay, so I'm going to remove these T40s, or yeah, T40, I believe. And then I'm going to take out each one of these and I'm going to bag each one individually and write on the bag corresponding to my diagram here. I know that's highly scientific. I had a 3-year-old come in and draw that for me. Looking at that diagram, you wouldn't know that I was able to actually do really halfway decent automotive paintings and, well, paintings of other stuff. You probably noticed my cat's up on the wall. Yeah, that's no masterpiece. I guess that one isn't either. Okay, so I guess that is a good example of my artistic ability. Anyway, so I'm going to take those off, and then I'm going to take off the others that hold the conductor plate to the valve body, because one way or the other I got to do something, no matter how I end up addressing this broken plug. So anyway, after I talk to those guys, I will clean that plate up real good and package it up and get it ready to send to them if they can still do something for me. And then when I get it back, we'll do put it back in and take the car for a test drive video. But that's probably not going to be for a couple weeks. On the bright side, the shipping for this item is DHL. So it's not going through the U.S. Postal Service. Yay. I mean, I love the U.S. Postal Service. But right now, everything's getting delayed because the narcissist in chief is trying to manipulate mail-in voting. So in order to try to steal the election, he's destroying the mail delivery service for the 330 million people who live here. So, okay, sorry, didn't mean to go there. I guess that's it. I am no transmission surgeon. Nope. But I'm trying. Thanks for watching.